Welcome to this week's episode of What to Eat. On today's episode, we're going to make some rice and gandules. This is a Spanish style rice, a yellow Spanish style rice. This is delicious. You use green pigeon peas. Most people like it when they eat meals, but you can eat this by itself. It's so delicious and it's real easy to make. It's basically like making rice, but the only difference is you're going to put most of your ingredients in before you even add your rice and water. So we're going to put the ingredients in, saute it down, then we're going to add our rice. As you know, on these videos, on this channel, I don't like to do a lot of talking, so let's get right into it. But before we begin, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and leave comments. Yes, comments are important. If you got a variation of how you like to do your rice, please let us know. Leave a comment. We would like to talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can improve it. Maybe you like it the way it is. But you're always going to have to do adjustment depending on how hot your flame gets, depending on how heavy your pot is. So this is not going to be the same exact way for every single person. So you take this basic ingredients, or you make this basic style, and you make the adjustments according to your kitchen and your pots and stuff. But it's going to turn out good for the most part. Enough with the talking, let us begin. So what I'm going to start with right here, so I'm going to put a nice heavy pot on, a non-stick pot. We're going to put that on there now. The pot is warming up a little bit. First thing we're going to take, put the olive oil in, maybe about 3 or 4 tablespoons. Basically cover the bottom, make sure everything is in there. After the tablespoons of olive oil, we're going to take some of our homemade sofrito. Let's dump that homemade sofrito in there. You can buy this in the store. That's about 3 tablespoons of sofrito. We're not making that much. The flame is going to be down to a medium. Half a can of tomato sauce. Half a pack of sazon. So to make the yellow rice, you can go a few ways. Today we're going to add some turmeric to give it that yellow color. We're going to do 1 tablespoon for now, and then we're going to wait until we put the rice in. We might have to add a little more. If you don't have turmeric, you can. Most of the time, the tomato sauce and the sazon will be enough, but the turmeric give it a nice bright yellow color. Now we're going to add some seasoning. We're going to do about a teaspoon of salt, two teaspoons of black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Let's give it a nice little mix. You could already smell this. It smells delicious. It's going to be like a nice little paste. You don't want it to stick. That's why you want to keep moving it around. Now we're going to let this mix for about a minute. Only about a minute. Occasionally stirring it so it doesn't stick or burn. Even though this is non-stick, you don't want it to start burning or sticking. So And because I'm not making that much rice, you don't need the whole can of the what is that, 6-ounce tomato sauce, 8-ounce. So it was about 4 ounces of tomato sauce. But later on, you'll see if you need to add a little more to bring that color or flavor out. But for now, we're going to use half a can, as well as a half a can of 15-ounce Gandules. You only need a half a can because we're not making that much. And mix that in. Come back up to a simmer. It's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. Now I pre-washed my rice already. We already set this aside. Now we're going to put in 2 cups of rice. Now let's mix this rice in. Coming out. It's still on a medium-high heat, so now we're gonna let this infuse for a little while. I'll let this sit for like another 2 minutes. Let it saute down a little bit, let the flavors infuse into that rice before we add our water. So now we're going to incorporate our water. It's been about 2-3 minutes. We're going to incorporate our water. But we're going to put like 1 cup of water in so far. And we're going to stir it. You don't want to add too much water because sometimes you might need less water. Add another half a cup of water. So that right now we add 1.5 cups of water. So you don't want to put too much water in or it's gonna be mushy. Now that we got the 1.5 cups of water in, we actually want to get that up to almost 2 cups of water. So now we got 1.5 cup of water in. We're gonna put in a chicken bouillon cube. I can't even pronounce it, but you know what I mean. I'll put the description down. I can't get that out today. I'm sorry. Now we're gonna mix this well, and we still have this on a medium-high flame. So what I would like to do now, so I'm gonna add another half a cup of water, and that's it. That's it for the water. So it's 2 cups rice, 2 cups water. And we have this, now we turn the flame on high to bring this to a boil. What I'm gonna do now is cover this. Now I'm looking at the color, so we don't need any more of the turmeric. The color looks fine. We're just gonna bring this to a boil. We're gonna cover this for a few minutes on a high flame. And it should be about 5 or 6 minutes. So now that it's simmering, we're gonna move it around because you don't want it to stick to the bottom. And now we're gonna put our flame down on low. nice swirl, get a So you want to trap all the moisture in. So this is another layer I do for this. I'll put on a piece of foil. It's on the lowest heat. I put on a piece of foil and I cover it because the steam is going to cook the rice the rest of the way. And then I put the lid on. And then we're gonna let that cook for about 20 minutes on the lowest flame. And then we'll be back. So that's been about 20 minutes. Now we're gonna take the lid off and take a look at the rice. Now we're just gonna mix it up a little bit because you just gotta mix the rice up. See? Gotta let the rice turn it around a little bit. Because all the juices are sitting on top. Now we're going to cover it and let it fluff up for like 3 more minutes and turn it off. Then it's done. That's it. We're just going to turn it off now. And that's the finished product. Now let it sit for maybe 2-3 minutes. And it's going to absorb the last of the moisture, and your rice is ready to go. Let me leave this off. And that'll do it for this week's episode of What to Eat with the Rice and Gandules. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us what you think of the video. But that wasn't that bad. And like I said, all you have to do now is make short adjustments, like a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's up to you. But it's ready to go. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.